Right. And firstly, to identify your state penal code, you can actually search online and enter the words custody interference and your state name. And that normally narrows down how to find your statute. You might find it on different websites, but it's very helpful if you actually go to your state legislative resource. So there's certain steps that we recommend when reporting custodial agreement violations. Again, know the jurisdiction that you're in. There is a difference between a city police and a sheriff. So depending on what jurisdiction your exchange point or your pickup location is, that's who you're going to call to report the crime. When you call 911, very often dispatch will ask you or tell you that I could give you their report for you. Do you want me to help you right now? You have to understand that dispatch are not patrol officers. So you need a patrolman to come to your location because they need to witness and observe the crime that you're reporting. And again, if your child is not there, they need to see that. Dispatch can't do that over the telephone. If law enforcement tells you it's a civil matter, again, this is where understanding the law and knowing your rights to report a crime come into play. So you really need to be familiar with your actual state penal code. And you have to be at the designated location of the call. So oftentimes parents will agree to change that location. Well, that's really hard to enforce because now you've gone outside of your court order, and that can make things difficult. Have your order on hand. A lot of parents don't have their order with them. It's better to have a certified copy. Sometimes you can actually feel the seal, and that's really important. Again, offense reports must be taken at the site of the violation or the infraction, and having your court order, maybe having some form of email or text that basically states that you were going to be meeting with the child, meeting to pick up the child, and you have that's something that you can show to the officer that, hey, I let the other parent know that I was coming here. It's my time. They're fully aware. So again, you're better prepared. You can also consider asking for a courtesy standby. Let's say that this has happened a lot and you foresee that it's going to happen, and now you're more aware based on what you're researching. You can ask them to come out to the site and be there to witness firsthand what's going to happen, and the exchange is not going to occur. Prepare yourself in advance. Again, leave all the court drama behind. Many times, we get frustrated and angry, but when you want to present requesting a report, you want to do it in a tactful manner, a drama-free manner. So you want to leave all that out of that conversation with the law officer. You want to just state facts.
We also work on educating parents about legislation that's coming, because it's important for you to be aware what's happening so that you can either support a legislator who's put a bill that would be helpful, or you can intervene. It's definitely possible. We work on Caden's law often, which is a law that is a federal law, and each state is adopting pieces of it. But some factors in there are concerning for us. Sometimes Caden's law is saying that reunification therapy might be banned, or and that's something we know is important for veterans and for many different realms. Another thing that they might say in a Caden's law version in a different state would be about attachment, that you cannot remove a child who's attached to a parent, and it doesn't mention anything about what kind of attachment. It could be a negative attachment. It could be a trauma bonding. It could be a psychological abuse, which is another thing that Caden's law seems to neglect in some states, is that psychological abuse is just as damaging as physical and sexual abuse. So those are things that you can talk to your legislators about and make changes.